Hello friends, welcome back to another Value Vintage Cards video. Today I am going to share what I will assume will be my largest pickup from a local card shop. I mean, definitely in my life so far, maybe in my life ever. It's going to be tough to top this, so I'm going to share. It's only 7 cards, and it's really from that same batch. So he had opportunity to buy a whole bunch of different strip cards and kind of odd stuff, and unfortunately all the Ruths and Cobbs were pulled back, and the guy was going to just grade them and send them into eBay and do it himself, I guess. But what he did have, I've shared some of the really rough stuff, and he sent some in for grading, so he gave us kind of a not quite first dibs, but really early in dibs, so before it was really offered up to online or anyone else locally. So thought I would just share these 7 pickups, and it's really 6 that are pretty good and 1 that is crazy. So step 1, W551, and what's really crazy is I think everything I got is authentic. Not meaning it's real, but literally like they're graded A's. So got a Frank Baker, which I like Frank Baker. I actually have quite a few Frank Baker items. The original home run guy. So another 551, so similar look. Casey Stengel, Playing Days. That's pretty darn cool. And again, they're all like strip cards. They're all hand cut, so they're all going to be varying degrees of rough and crazy looking, but that's 2 of them. Those are both pretty respectable. This one is just, yeah, it's rough, but it is Grover Cleveland Alexander, and I actually really like that image because he's got the Chicago on his jersey. I wish that was nicer. I mean, it's definitely extremely minimum size not met, no kidding. That thing's butchered. So all the Grovers I got, which is 2, are pretty rough in terms of cut and look, but I like that one a lot, and this one being from the 590 set. That's a really cool image, and unfortunately it's Rover Alexander, so it's cut so bad. He's from Chicago, and he's Rover, so they definitely cut that way too close. Missed a G, missed the C, but I think it's a really cool looking picture, and the fact you actually get to see his face and Cubs, and it's, you know, more of a picture than it is just a artistic impression. That's a neat one. And again, those weren't terrible. He had fairish prices on them for sure, and then he did kind of hook me up at the end on the first 6. The other card I didn't really push. I came to a good price with him, and we made it happen, so that part didn't get negotiated. But Eddie Collins, 515. So I do think it's cool. It's got the Wonder at the top. I actually have another 515 Eddie Collins, but it's a different one. So it's crazy how many variants you can get with these sets, and they start getting into these like -2, -1, -1, -2. Some of them have double dashes, but it's a cool image for being, you know, cartoonish. Where should we put that? Let's put that over here. And then last 2, another 515. It's a Hornsby. Thing is rough. I was actually kind of bidding on a 1 last night just to see where it would go, just, you know, not trying to get it, and it went for very fair price. So this thing was slightly less, but not a lot. So I don't know that I'd had a huge win on this, but it's a Hornsby, so I'm not going to complain about that. Brutal, super rough cut. The last one is really kind of the prize of the process. This one I was really happy to score. And again, it's one that I think if you're just a non-hobby vintage lover, you're going to say it's kind of ugly. It's kind of weird. But for those that know, you know. So, Snagged a Hornsby. That turns out to be a pretty big card. They label it as 18 to 20. I believe PSA calls it 16 to 20. Most things I've seen is 16, so it's, you know, it's kind of the what's his rookie card. Probably the Collins McCarthy would be the more popular and the higher price one, but this would be also considered kind of in that realm. It's, you know, a lot of times they just say there's 4 or 5 different rookie cards, so it's rough. Definitely authentic. The back is, you know, nothing crazy on the back, honestly. It's supposed to be a blank back. It looks like a very fine blank back. I'm just like still in shock that with the population of these, I want to say there's 10 or 12 graded. I didn't look it up as close. I want to say maybe it's like 6 with PSA and 4 with SGC. Maybe there's 10. So, you know, call it a dozen, call it 15. I don't know. There's not a lot of these around. So I was actually just listening to some folks debate what's scarce and what's rare and talk about getting your vocabulary down. So it's at the very least scarce and maybe rare, I think would be the way we would phrase that. I'm not sure. But those are the 7 pickups. Like I said, 6 of them are pretty cool cards, you know, kind of standard strip stuff that you could find on eBay, and then that last Hornsby is absolutely the prize, and one that was that's a heavy hitter in my collection now. So very happy to snag that. Very, very exciting pickup and addition, and one that I don't know that I would see come up again, you know, this year or within my realm. If it did, because if it was too much nicer, it would be outside maybe the scope of where I can afford. So really happy to have that, and just wanted to share. So let me know, what do you guys think? I always like posing kind of a question. Strip cards, cool because they're rare, cool because they're, you know, what was available. If you want something in the 20s, it's tough. You go from tobacco cards to Gaudy, and in between you get kind of these crazy strip cards that are you know, somewhat sometimes interpretive as to what they look like. But what do you think? Are strip cards cool, or are they sometimes just a little too rough to enjoy? So please share, and I will catch you all on the next video. Have a good one.